Hey, Mike here at the Advertising Report Card. Wanted to do a breakdown of long distance specifically with the research that we've done. We've seen some pretty interesting things that we could look at as far as targeting goes, and also garnering a better understanding of how to get long distance moves versus short distance. So, first thing you can see, and we've already done a video on this specific set of keywords, this is all long distance. Long distance as a word is the biggest volume driver for long distance moves. That makes a lot of sense. But there's also other words like interstate, to and from, cross country. So there's a lot of different ways to slice that pie. You can see cross country movers, not a small volume of searches, right? But if you start looking for long distance, then you start to see, okay, well, long distance is dominating those variations, right? So interstate's on there as well. The main thing is if you wanted to look at the individuals, the one thing I want to always point out is it's a mixture between what your ad budget is going to be and how much search volume there is for that term, right? So with 40,000 searches, right? So that's the golden number right there. At 40,000 searches, right? Times, let's say 1% click-through rate, meaning that out of 100 times there's a search, only one person is going to click that. So what you have here is 405 clicks effectively, right? So what's your budget then? Well, you have low end and high end, right? So at 405 clicks, if we all hit those low end cost per click, your spend to net all of those searches that at that 1% for long distance moves is 7,200. On the high end, it can be a lot more expensive at almost 20,000. So the difference in the amount of clicks that you can get, I'm using 1% CTR to make the numbers easy. We usually have around like a 10% CTR. So that's where it kind of factors into your overall budget spend and the amount of opportunity you should expect to net while trying to effectively drive that traffic. Now let's look at interstate versus long distance. I'm going to grab these two formulas, bring them over here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because if we just look at this top search term, interstate moving companies at 4,400 searches a month, let's say you net 1% of those clicks, you're only getting 44 clicks, right? So your overall spend on the low end is less than 1,000. On the high end, you're at about 2,000. The reason why I'm pointing this out is it's not to say that interstate is cheaper than long distance. It's literally less volume, right? Which is why it's problematic. There's a lot of people who will launch a campaign and they'll make one campaign and they'll throw all of these keywords into one campaign. Maybe they'll separate a couple ad groups, but it's usually not managed in a way that's going to get you the low end costs. If the structure of the campaign is not of high quality, very specific, and aligned 100% with how people are searching, you're gonna pay more per click. So the name of the game too is making sure that when people search that you're focusing exactly on that keyword, the ad copy matches exactly what they're looking for, and the landing page experience is getting them to convert. If any of those three things are broken, you'll have a lower quality score, meaning that you're going to have to pay more per click. So with that being said, that's interstate. Now let's take a look at a different section here. So this is to and from, right? I'm going to talk about this specifically as well. You can see here that the to and from, and I'm just using Florida as an example, like Florida to California, Florida to Texas, Florida to New York, Florida to Jersey, very low search volume. Meaning that at a 1% CTR, you're getting 2 clicks a month. So unless your conversion rate is 50%, this didn't even generate leads. Granted, it's just from this one keyword. If I was to combine all of these keywords, then what's that number? I would have much more room to play with, but still not a lot. So that's also where it comes into bid. If we know we want to run the route from Florida to New York, the first expectation is that you might get 1 or 2 people a month to reach out to you. You can't only sit your budget on these specific low-hanging fruits. You can maximize your CTR and say, hey, look, I don't want 1% CTR, I want 10%. You're spending more now, but you're also netting more of these specific pieces of traffic. But if you were to just place all your pennies in the one pocket of being like, I want to get as much traffic as possible from people moving from Florida to New York, you're not going to get that much traffic at all. But the ones that you do get are going to be very specific and more likely to convert into leads, convert into sales. So that's what I wanted to break down. This is long distance versus interstate versus to and from. And you can see the price difference is great on the long distance. It's much more affordable, but the volume is not there. If you're looking to really drive and scale your business, you need to drive the long distance and interstate traffic and then vet through by using keywords that you don't want to show up for. Like, don't show up for things like cheap. Avoid keywords like affordable, right? But then also make sure that you're showing up for the ones that you do want to show up for. So that way you're not just getting all long distance moving traffic, you're getting a mix. So I wanted to give that breakdown between the semantics of long distance, interstate, and to and from. If you have any questions, let me know. This is Mike with Advertising Report Card. Happy to audit your advertising campaigns. If you're in the moving industry and you want to make sure that you're making the right amount of money for the money you're putting in, I'm here to help. We have a lot of success across the country. Talk to you soon.